Hello guys, welcome to another one of my YouTube video. If you are new here, welcome to the Tech Emi channel. My name is Ima. We talk about all things programming and tech. Of course, we do all things programming and tech. So in this video, we're going to be creating a currency rate converter in less than 10 lines of code. So while doing this, you're going to learn about the sys module and you're going to also learn about APIs. And if you haven't heard of that, don't worry, I'm going to explain what API means. And that's pretty much it. Now let's get into the video. So before we go into the video, the first thing we want to do is of course test run it so I can show you the demo. So we're gonna do Python. Okay, so I have it here already. So this is Python and the name of the file. Then you're gonna pass what currency you want to convert from and to, and then the amount you want to convert. So I'm gonna use USD to NGN, which is Naira, and then I'm gonna press enter. Okay, so you want to make sure you have good internet connection. As you can see, you can also do this to GBP. It works as well. You can do it to euros. I'm gonna show you how you're gonna know what short synonym or just what short words you're gonna be using to convert from and to. Okay, so now let's get into the video. So while learning this, we're gonna learn how to make use of the sys module and API. I've said that already. So now this is the website we're gonna be making use of. So what an API is basically is it's just a programming is an application programming interface. That's what it stands for, API, application programming interface. So it makes it possible for you to make use of different services. Okay, so it's just like a middleman that helps you to perform other actions. So you call to the middleman and the middleman performs the action for you and then returns the value to you. So just think of it that way. Middleman performs an action for you and then it gives you the value. If you are new to API, that's it. So you're going to learn how to make use of it. And for the sys module, don't worry, we're going to learn how to make use of that too. So we're going to explore the docs. So just go to exchangerate.host. That is where it is. That's where the site is, exchangerate.host. You should see this here. And then we're going to explore the docs. But before we go into the API documentation, we're gonna set up our file here. So I'm going to open this. This is from in my desktop. So this is a list of tutorials I've done already. So I'm going to create a new file here. Let's save that. So we're going to save that as currency. Okay, currency. I don't want to save it as something long, so I'm going to say CON currency converter.py. okay, so obviously that's not a good name, but so when we want to run it here, it's not going to take long. So now the first thing we want to do is we want to import request. That's what we're going to be making use to make our request. Okay, this is the library we're going to be using to make our use of our request. So if you haven't gotten the request library, the way you can get the request library, I've talked about this in one of my videos. So how you get it is just by doing pip install. So basically this is a third-party library you're going to be using to make requests to the internet without making use of your browser. So it doesn't come with Python automatically, you have to install it. Now to install it, make sure you open your CMD and then you type pip install and then the name of the request or the name of the library. So when you do this, okay, I'm gonna run it. So it says I already have it installed, as you can see, but yours is gonna be different. You're gonna see it installing in progress. Okay, so make sure you have that installed. That's the only thing you're gonna install. That's what we're gonna be making use of that to make requests to the internet, to the webs, to the API, and we're gonna be making use of the sys module as well. Okay, and the sys module. So those are the modules we're gonna be making use. Now let me explain some things about the sys modules before we eventually go into the API, which is easy. So when it comes to sys, we're gonna be making use of the arg functionality. So let me show you how it works. I'm gonna print sys.agv. You're gonna be surprised at what we get if you don't know what this is already. So I'm gonna open this. I'm gonna close this. So what you want to do is you want to run this file in our CMD. The way you do it is come here, click on open containing folder. By the way, I'm using Sublime Text to download. Just search on Google, download Sublime Text, and you should get a link there to download it. It's very easy and it's lightweight, by the way. Okay, now you want to make sure you are in the same directory or folder in where your file is. So as you can see, we have our file here, and then we want to open our CMD or terminal here. That's what we want to do basically. So what we're going to do to open that here is we're going to come here and then we're going to type CMD. If you're on Windows or Mac, I think you'll be able to right click and open terminal, or Linux, just open. What you want to do basically is open your terminal or CMD in this folder or directory. Okay, so now we have it open. Now to run our file, what we're going to do is we're going to do Python and then name of our file con.py. So if I run this, Now you see when I printed 6.arg, it returned a list containing this. So what this 6.argv means is it's gonna pick everything you pass with in front here. That's the way I actually converted those currencies. You saw when I passed GBP to USD and then the rate. So if I run it again and put GBP, USD and 10, so you see we have all this in a list. So that's how we're gonna be getting these values from our CMD or terminal. So when we get these values, we're gonna convert it here in Python. Okay, so we're gonna clear that. Now we understand how that sys.arg work, and we should be able to go with it. So now let's go into the documentation. I'm gonna come here. The first we want to look at is the currency convert currency tab. We're gonna click on it. Okay, so as you can see here, we're gonna click on Python. So you see you have to import the request library, and this is the URL. Okay, so we have a URL here, and this URL is it here. Now let me explain something to you. Whenever I see a URL like this is URL to the API. Whenever you get to a point where you see a question mark, what this means is you are telling your browser, for example, if you are making this request on the browser, you are telling the browser that you want to start, or you're telling the API in this case that you want to start passing parameters to it. So you're gonna say from, this is where you pass the from parameter and then give it USD, and you say and, which means you want to pass another parameter which is 2, and then you're passing euros to the 2. So that's how it works basically. We're gonna see how this works more in details when we start coding it. And then when we do this, we pass this, the API knows how to get what it needs to get. So the middleman, he gets what he needs to get, and then it returns this when we make a get request to this URL. Okay, so this is URL, and then we make a get request to it. We get our data, and then we just make use of it. So that's what we're gonna do. So what you do is just come here, copy this, and then we'll paste it here. Okay, so we have this. We're gonna clear this, as I'll be showing you why. We're gonna clear that, and so we're gonna say response equals to request.get URL, and then instead of using our question mark here, our request library has provided a way for us to do this in an easy way. So we can do this and by doing params. Okay, we should do params. So our request library has simplified it for us, and then we're gonna come here. So the first thing we want to pass here is, so let's check this. Our from parameter is required, and our to parameter is required, as you can see here. So we must have a from and we must have a to. So what we're gonna do here is our from, okay, so it's gonna be sys.argv1. So if you come back here and check what we did here, you notice sys.argv0 is the name of the file we passed here, and so 1 is gonna be the first one here, which is what we want to convert from, and then our 2 is gonna be sys. Oh, we're almost at 10 line. No, never mind, we're gonna fix that. So we're gonna do argv and 2. So that's what we're gonna convert to, and from. Okay, so that's it basically. So from and to. Let's go back to the site, and we get that. So if you do it this way, it's gonna return the exchange rate from 1 USD to an euro. So it's gonna return the equivalent of a USD to an euro. You can just convert by specific numbers now. So to convert using numbers, so for example, if you want to convert 10 USD to euros, because this one is just going to convert 1 USD to 1 euro. So to be able to convert 10 USD to euros, you come here, you see we have an amount parameter which is optional, so we can make use of these two to convert this, which was what I made use of. So we're going to come here, and then we're going to do comma, then we're going to do amount sys.arg. So this is going to be the third one. Okay, that's going to be the third one we're going to pass, which is going to be this, as you can see. So 0 1 2 3. Okay, cool. So we have that. Now if I save this, don't worry, let's cut this. Okay, I'm gonna paste it here instead. So this is where our URL is. I just want you to see that's why the font is this big. Okay, I don't want to record the video and just realize that you couldn't see anything. So we have this, and when I save this, let me print data so we see what we get. I'm gonna save that. Now let's run it. We're gonna say Python. Then let's clear this for now. Okay, we need it. So we're gonna run it. I'm gonna run it. Okay. Ooh, it says conversion. Okay, so this is an Oh, this has to do with the connection error. Okay, I'm gonna run it again. It's the internet connection error. Sorry about that. Okay, so now when we run it, so whenever I see this error, it's due to your internet. So make sure your internet is strong. Okay, so when now we have this dictionary, we can't see it really well. So I'm gonna give you a bonus by showing you the preprint library. So we're gonna say from pprint import preprint, and then we're gonna do pprint this. So this is gonna print it in a nice way for us. So I'm gonna run that, and now as you can see, we have dates, history, and so the most important thing here is the result, which is the amount we converted from. So as you can see, we have amount we converted from and to, and this is the result. So what we want to get here is the result. And remember, this is a dictionary. So if you know about dictionaries, I'm gonna put a link down in the description below on dictionaries, and I'm gonna also put a card up here. You will see. Okay, so this is gonna return in dictionary, and then we're gonna be getting the result from dictionary. So if you don't know how to get results from dictionary, make sure you watch my tutorial on dictionary so you understand it better. So to get the results, we're just gonna come here and say results. Okay, I'm gonna come back here. Now this returns the dictionary, and then we're gonna get the result from the dictionary. Okay, so that gets it, and then we're gonna print data. So let's run it and save it. Let's save it and run it rather. So as you can see, we have that. Cool. So that is pretty much everything. So we're gonna clear this, so we go back to 10 lines, and it is exactly 10 lines of code. Cool. So we're gonna run it again, and now as you can see, you have this. You can change this to EURNGN to what? Oh, that's gonna give us an error, so we have to pass the other one. So if you want to undo errors, you can watch my video on Python exceptions, or just learn how to handle errors in Python, so you don't just ruin your code, or your code just doesn't disappoint even if it's any error. Because as you can see, you can convert from anything, and by the way, you can do more with this API except from convert. Let me show you something. If you come here, you can also check the supported symbols. So we're gonna click on Python again. So if you run this code instead, symbols, they're gonna give you the list of symbols that you can use, the USD, the EUR, the engine, and so on and so forth. So that's it for this video. If you enjoyed, make sure you give it a thumbs up, as I really appreciate it, and subscribe. Click the subscribe button now and hit the notification bell so you get notification whenever I drop a new video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out, guys.